Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we have a look at a couple of upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to identify the particular element of the race that we'll look back on later as having been decisive. Well, it's Queen Mother's Cup Day on Sunday at Sha Tin, so I'm going to divert from the usual path we take and have a look at a graphic on that race. It doesn't form part of our tips, but the Queen Mother's Cup is a once-a-year event in Hong Kong, a handicap over 2,400 metres, and a lot of people seem to think that because of the long distance, the lightweights matter so much more. So I've had a look at history, and it really doesn't show that. And if you have a look here, yes, there are quite a few winners down in the weights, but an awful lot more runners carry those lightweights. So the strike rate of the ones up the top is pretty good. If you're thinking of having a wager on one of the horses up in the weights in the Queen Mum's Cup, I certainly wouldn't put you off. But now let's have a look at the tips, and the first race I'm going to look at on Sunday is race 5. The winning factor here is the tempo. Now this is an interesting contest in one way, because a lot of the horses here are having their first start in Hong Kong or they're out of form, and so I've come down on 3 in particular as horses I'm interested in here. One is Triumphant Horse from the Jimmy Ting yard. One is Zach Purton's ride, and that is Young Legend. And the lightweight, Beauty Day, having his second run for Benno Jung. Now the reason I'm most interested in these horses is that this is a peculiar looking race map. If we have a look at that now, On Pace is going to be king here. We have only a little bit of pace in the race, and it's all on the inside 6 barriers. Outside of that, they don't look to have a lot of pace for the most part, and that means that the inside 6 horses are going to dictate to some extent what happens in this event. Now early in the season we saw Beauty Day leading in races, and certainly with the way the map shapes here, I'd like to see him go back to that sort of situation. But let's have a look at his first run for Benno Jung, and for this we go to race 583, and he was sat in behind the leader here over 1,600 metres. The pace was quite strong through the middle of the race, and this is a race won by Everlaugh. But despite that strong pace through the mid-race stages, Beauty Day was very strong at the finish, in fact coming again near the line to put himself in a photo with the first 2 home in a particularly promising effort. Now, I think the other one that's mostly captured my interest here is Triumphant Horse, and that's for a different reason. He switches from a hood for his first 3 starts in Hong Kong to blinkers on Sunday, and he was successful racing in blinkers in Australia. Now we're going to have a look at his most recent run, and Triumphant Horse hasn't been all that fast away his last couple of starts, and that was the case on this occasion before driving through into midfield. After that he drifted back and then finished the race off again in the race won by Noble Steed, and he was getting to the line quite strongly here over the final stages. Now wearing the blinkers in Australia, he raced up on the speed. He was a lot sharper in them. I think we're going to see Young Legend up on the pace, but I also think that Beauty Day will be there, and as I said earlier, I would like to see him go back to that style of racing. So the tip in race 5, Beauty Day. His winning factor, the tempo. The horses up on the speed here have got the advantage. He's got a lightweight, and I would like to see him go to the front here over 1,400 metres. He's coming back 200 from his latest run, but he'll be very strong at the finish of this distance. For the second race we're going to examine, let's have a look at race 11. Our winning factor here, the map. Now there are probably 3 or 4 horses that most players will land on as the main chances here. Prince of Gems up the top with Silver Fig, Monkey Jewellery returning after an injury, and the Richard Gibson trained Yi Chun Blitz, who looks close to winning a race. And mostly I want to narrow that down to Prince of Gems, Yi Chun Blitz and Silver Fig. And we're going to have a look at their most recent efforts. First of all, we go to race 561. First of all, in race 561, and I would advise you to look away if you backed Silver Fig on this occasion. He's the grey horse in the black and green colours, and he has no luck at all down the straight getting a run through. He's held up very badly, not beaten far at the finish, and I think most people considered him to have been unlucky not to take out this race. A week later, we see Yishun Blitz here in pale yellowish sort of colours. He sits back 3 wide with cover, finishes off well, and he is running in the placings here for the 3rd time in as many starts. He's racing very well, but he does have that issue where he gets back in the field. And finally, let's go back to March. We're going to look at Prince of Gems here. Now, he's up on the pace. He's only a length off the lead most of this race, and it was a very strong, very fast run tempo in this race. And over the final stages, Prince of Gems, he's got clear, but he gets run over by the eventual winner, Flying Lover. But it's the tactical qualities that Prince of Gems showed there that I think will be the key to him winning this race. If we take a look at the map, he's the one who's going to be up on the speed in a race where the tempo certainly doesn't look as fast as it was for that last run. And his major opposition, we've already highlighted, Silver Fig, Yishun Blitz, Monkey Jewellery, they're all going to give Prince of Gems a big start. So the tip in race 11, Prince of Gems, his winning factor, the map. Having that ability to sit up on the pace really didn't work for him in a fast run event last time, but it's going to be gold here, and I think it'll be decisive for Prince of Gems. Well, that's it from the winning factor for this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.